Howdy howdy, this is Crazy Grinding. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a quick preview for the upcoming Ant-Man, MODOK and Goldpool arenas. So the first thing I always like to do is compare these or group these arenas to other arenas, compare them I should say, and when it comes to feature arenas, basically you're either a new champ or old champ, but that'll kind of put you in a category of what kind of trends you can expect. And with Ant-Man, he's definitely an old champ. And with MODOK, with the 4-star basic arenas, really there's the high interest like Medusa, Blade, etc. And then there's kind of like the rest of everybody else. And there's kind of a little separation between rest, the low as I like to call them, low, but low in terms of like new champs, and then low in terms of old champs. And we'll get into the particulars for new champs here shortly. And then lastly, there'll be the Goldpool arena, which Kabama's already announced is going to be like a 5-star feature arena in terms at least of its setup for the most part, but the milestone rewards, etc. will change quite a bit. So anyway, with the 4-star low new champs, you can see over the last couple months what some similar results first round cutoffs were. You can start with Dr. Octopus at 2 million, Kingpin 2.3, Morningstar 2.2, and most recently Taskmaster at 2.3. I really do think that MODOK's going to be kind of in this area compared to like Blade and Medusa, where those numbers were above 3 million. So, so you get a sense that these are pretty similar numbers. At least this is where I kind of feel MODOK will fall. Now, when we look at old 3-star feature results, you can see those are pretty standard, no matter which champ you're dealing with. That are old champs anyway. Or anywhere from 640 to 650, 660,000. We can expect a cutoff to land there. Same thing with the 4-star feature. There's really not a lot for old champs anyway. There's not a lot of variation with the results. Anywhere from 4.7 to 5.6, somewhere in there, we can expect the cutoff to land, and probably closer to the lower end, given Ant-Man's not the greatest champ. Probably kind of like a Winter Soldier, even though I would say Winter Soldier has better utility. But anyway, we should definitely think Ant-Man will probably be towards the lower end of these trends. And lastly, when we look at the 5-star feature, there too, there's just not a lot of variation, especially when you're sure there's a couple million from 20 to 24, but when you're dealing with 20 millions to begin with, that's not a ton of variation between each of the champs here for a first round cutoff anyway. But when it comes to the 5-star feature arena for new champs, and this is kind of where I think Goldpool will fall, you can see we've had a lot of variation. But I think kind of if we've learned anything from the original Deadpool OG arenas, that people are going to put a lot more effort into those arenas. I mean, 20 million compared to, an old 4-star feature. You can see these numbers are closer to 5 million, but with the OG Deadpool, been in the game for a while, sure, not a lot of people have him as a 4-star, so maybe this isn't the best comparison. It's more like a 4-star new feature champ, but those numbers are still like 13, 14 million and not the 20 million that we saw for Deadpool. So if anything, looking at new 5-star feature champs like Goldpool coming in, I think if anything it'll probably be that 55 million that we saw for Iron Man and even higher. So anyway, this gives you a sense of kind of how I categorize these upcoming arenas and what kind of, considering how I consider they compare what those kind of past results, close, similar results in the near future looked like. What are your thoughts? For probably the most, the biggest question marks will be around the MODOK. I think when it comes to the Ant-Man feature arenas, it was pretty crystal clear for old champs. They're pretty consistent. We kind of know where those are going to land. But I think when it comes to MODOK, what do you think? You think he's going to be in that low interest for new champs, that 2 to 2.4 that we saw like from Morningstar and Dr. Octopus? Or do you think he's going to be his own new kind of category, somewhere range from 2.5 to 3 million? Or do you think he's going to make it up to that high interest for 4-star basic these days, that 3 million plus, like we saw for Medusa and definitely for Blade? And lastly, what do you think about the Goldpool cutoff? Do you think it's going to be kind of like what we've seen for Iron Man Infinity War, that 50 to 55 million? Or do we think he's really going to push the highest numbers ever for a 5-star feature arena, 55 to 60, 60 to 65, 65 to 70? Are we talking 75 million plus kind of thing? Really would love your opinion on these two arenas. I've set up some polls over in the community section of my channel. If you head on over there and cast your vote, I would greatly appreciate it, as I really do consider your input, the community's input, as you guys, as we're really the community, is what drives these arena scores anyway. Would really appreciate your opinion, your thoughts on these upcoming arenas. If you can't find the polls or just prefer to put it in the comment section of this video, that's great too. Put it down there. I'll be checking the comment section out here as well. And if you do take the time to jump over to the polls and cast a vote, would really appreciate if you put a little comment behind that. You can add a comment to provide some context to your vote. Would really appreciate if you take a couple minutes out of your day to do that, as again, because that does have a lot of sway in terms of my first round cutoff prediction. So anyway, would really appreciate your opinion either at the polls or here. And other than that, if you appreciate this video and liked watching it, would really appreciate if you click that thumbs up button. And if you like this and other videos I have on the channel, would really appreciate a subscribe. Thanks a lot for stopping by and have a great day.